Seven high frequency verbs is the theme of our session. This is a series, so this is part 1 of 3. You'll see this again in the next 2 sessions. But what are the goal of today, or the goal of this lesson is, what are the super siete verbs? Super siete means the super 7. And then we're going to give you an introduction to these verbs, and then we're going to start practicing and using them. So the high frequency verbs are the following: me gusta, it is pleasing to me, or I like something. I sounds like your eyes, right? Or I, right? Anyway, it means there is, there are. It's an impersonal verb. Yo soy means I am. You talk about your characteristics, your personality, your hair length, your eye color with the verb with yo soy, or yo tengo, which means I have. Yo estoy is I am feeling, or I am located. Yo voy, like B-O-Y, boy, I'm going to go to the house or the park, or whatever. And then yo quiero, the Q and the U is a K, like a K sound. Yo quiero is I want or I desire. And again, I have, yo tengo. The super siete verbs in Spanish are important because they are used frequently. So the reason that we're having this presentation is because sometimes what's super helpful is to have repetition in verbs and in phrases, and to start remembering and noticing. So the idea is that we're going to use these verbs in context, maybe in a short script, and then you'll have a chance to practice it. So we're going to start with number 1. Here we go. Me gusta. El verbo gustar. So here's the pronunciation right here. Me gusta. Me gusta. The gus, when it's capitalized, it's where you put the emphasis on that word. So in the non-changed form, it means to like, to be pleasing, which is gustar. But we're going to change it to it is pleasing to me, which is me gusta. So I like, or it is pleasing to me. You can also say it's not pleasing to you. So simply put the easiest word in the Spanish language, no, in front of the word me gusta. No me gusta. When we say something in a singular construct, like I like lemonade, it's me gusta la limonada. I like music. Me gusta la música. Me gusta mi familia, or la familia. Sometimes we say gustan. You'll see this. When you put the N, it's because the word behind it has plural application. Like gatos is plural of gato, cat, cats, right? Gato is a cat, gatos are cats. Serpientes are snakes. So if you say, no, I don't like snakes, no me gustan los serpientes, as opposed to no me gusta. So the goal here is not to get so stuck into grammar, but simply to start noticing and seeing how this is used. So we're going to read a short story. Here it is. I'm going to read it out loud. You can pause this video at any time. And this, again, is a series, so we'll come back to it. So notice how the verb gustar is used. And notice how it says le gusta, nos gusta. That simply means that he or she likes, le gusta, or nos gusta is we like. So here it goes. Hola, me llamo Stephanie, yo soy de Italia. Me gusta mucho la pasta, pero no me gusta el chocolate con leche como mis amigos en los Estados Unidos. Me gustan las pastas, especialmente la pasta de mi abuelita. Es una persona muy importante en mi familia. Es madre de mi madre. Ella es muy interesante. Le gusta la comida buena como yo. Nos gusta mucho comer juntos, which means together, cuando es posible. So, preguntas de comprensión. What does Stephanie like? ¿Qué le gusta a Stephanie? So she says, me gusta mucho la pasta. Pause the video at any time. What doesn't she like? No me gusta mucho el chocolate con leche. So she likes chocolate, I think. I think she's getting into the chocolate part. So she says, yeah, chocolate, me gusta chocolate, but not with milk. No me gusta mucho el chocolate con leche, like my friends in the United States. Los Estados Unidos is the United States. Why does she talk about that? Because she says, yo soy de Italia, I'm from Italy. What else does she like? Oh, she says, I like pasta. right? That's number one. Who's the other person in the story? Abuelita, madre de mi madre. The mother of my mother is my abuelita. It's my grandmother. So that's the other person. What does that person like? Es muy interesante. She's interesting. She likes food, comida buena como yo. She likes good food like I do. And what do they like together? Nos gusta mucho comer juntos. Comer. We like to eat together when it's possible. And then what you're going to do next is you're going to write a short story or short phrases about you. So after reviewing that story, write about what you like, what you don't like. ¿Qué te gusta a ti? So remember, if it's singular, you say me gusta la limonada, or if there's a verb after, I like to eat pasta, me gusta comer pasta. Write a little short list. Or if it's plural, I like sports, me gustan los deportes. Soft drinks, me gustan los refrescos. However, you might say, no, no me gusta. This is the same idea, but just put the word no in front. Maybe you don't like horchata, that rice drink from Mexico. Anyway, so you'd say, no me gusta la horchata. Or I don't like to talk on the phone. No me gusta hablar. But if you don't like sports, you don't like soft drinks. I don't really like soft drinks. So I'm going to say, no me gustan los refrescos. So make a short little list. Pause the video as needed. Verb number 2 is the verb I. I sounds like the eye on your face, on your forehead, right? So this is a common verb, and it's impersonal. So it's asking, how many members in your family are there? How many students do you have with you in a classroom? How many objects do you have in your bedroom or something? Is there a pencil? Is I, so we're going to use the word I. We can talk about the weather. Are there clouds in the sky today? So it's a more impersonal verb as opposed to have. So there is, there are, or you can make a question. So here's a question. Hay nubes, nubes, those are, my arrows are pointing to the nubes. Hay nubes en el cielo. And you say, sí, hay muchas nubes en el cielo en la foto. If you had a picture with only a blue sky, you'd say, no, no hay nubes en la foto. No hay nubes en el cielo, the sky. So here's a question for you to follow up with this. I'm trying to get my face out of the way for a moment. Give me a second. There we go. All right. So anyways, now it's your, so, ¿qué hay en la foto? Por ejemplo, ¿hay una persona en la foto? No, no hay una persona. My answers are in the white here. ¿Cuántos gatos hay? Gato is a cat. So I look around and I say, hay un gato. No hay dos, no hay tres, hay un gato. ¿Cuántos ojos hay en la foto? I'm like, ojo is my eye. There's a lot of eyes. And the answer, hay 22 ojos. Like that. So you can count things. ¿Cuántos means how many or how much. And then you can use your numbers here as well. I is my verb. It's already changed or conjugated. Like gustar is not conjugated, but me gusta is. And here I is already changed. It means there is or there are. So it's a practice thing. So it's your turn. Tu turno. ¿Qué hay en tu mochila? What's in your backpack? Hay un lápiz. If you say sí, hay un lápiz, you say sí, hay un lápiz. But if there's not, no hay un lápiz. Hay una botella de agua, right? Agua, hay agua en tu mochila, sí o no. So start looking at your or things, objects, and use the word I. Remember that it's pronounced like this, I. And then verb number 1 was gustar, me gusta. So this is the first part of our series. We will pick this back up in part 2, and we'll learn 2 or 3 more verbs. And lastly, we'll learn the last few in part 3. Thank you. Gracias.